This is Diana.
And this is Diana.
Chisme con propósito, porque si vamos a hablar, vamos a decir algo.
Si venimos por el chisme,
pero nos quedamos por el crecimiento.
Porque hablar se nos da.
Pero reflexionar también.
Because if we're gonna talk, we're gonna say something.
Hello, chismosas, chismosos. How are y'all doing?
Buenos dias, everyone. Or buenas tardes if you're listening to us as you're driving home or maybe on like your afternoon walk. Hope you're doing well.
Yes. So we are now on episode. What the hell, dude? Oh my God. If
¿Quién nos viera bien podcast? Ay.
Y'all, we're already talking about season 2.
Another launch party for season 2.
You know what? I feel like we're delusional about men, so why not be delusional about where this podcast will go?
No.
Ay, está cabrón.
No, we're doing good though. We're doing good.
Are.
You know, we talked about doing a podcast for so long, and I feel like now that we're doing it, it's been a learning experience for sure.
Yes.
We couldn't do it without our producer, so we do want to give her a little shout out. Thank you for sticking with us for 4 episodes.
Chill. We give her a shout out every podcast episode.
Ya ni se siente verdadero.
She's literally looking at us like, bitch, chill.
She's aparte que ni me pagan.
Literally, she's like, I get it, chill. But we love her and we're very grateful, you know, and hopefully we can start paying her someday.
Yeah. Let us get some.
So please share, repost, subscribe.
Share, repost, subscribe. Yeah.
Eso es lo que se dice, ¿no?
Sí, creo que sí. Sí, tú dilo, no importa.
Ay, okay, pues lo que sea yo. Pero sí, so our chisme, because, you know, we're still keeping our weekly chisme going. This time it is a shared chisme.
It is a shared chisme.
Kick it off, Diana.
Our chisme for this week is that we could be in the same space, be doing the same thing, but understand it completely different. So a few weeks ago at this point, we purchased tickets to go to this like event.
Wait, purchase?
Oh,
did both of us purchase?
We RSVP'd for an event.
Thank you.
And mismo tiempo, mismo lugar.
Y'all, we were literally
next to each other.
Yes, we were next to each other. ¿Qué
Where
andábamos
were we?
haciendo?
I think maybe grabbing coffee.
Were we grabbing coffee? No. ¿Qué andábamos haciendo? Punto is that we were together and I was like, hey, Diana, like there's this event happening. Like, are you down to go with me? And then Diana was like, oh, yeah, I'm down. So I literally shared the post with her and I was like, okay, like, you know, let's RSVP.
Mm-hmm.
And pues no sé.
There was 2 options. There was
options.
like the free and then there's one to like skip the line, which was like $10-11.
Yes.
And then yo le dije, oh, so we're doing the free one, right? And then Diana was like, no, like, do this, skip the line. Y le dije, pero si vamos a llegar tarde, then it doesn't matter because we're not going to have to make line.
And in my head, when I was talking to her, she was like, oh, well, good, they're late. So I was like, oh, yeah, like, let's skip the line. Because in my head, I was like, there's going to be a long-ass line. And I had seen, like, the previous time they had hosted it, there were people who RSVP'd, but they weren't able to get in because there were so many people that wanted to go to this fucking event.
Mm-hmm.
Entonces, yo lo entendí como que, okay, like, yes, let's get this. And I literally said, oh, it's not that bad. It's only $11. Mm-hmm. And she was like, and then I don't know what. No
I
sé
was
qué.
like, okay, yeah, I got it.
And she was like, okay, I got it. And I was like, okay, perfect. Like, I got it too. Pues así quedamos, right? Llega el día of the event. And I'm telling Diana, like, initially we were, okay, so don't think we're alcoholics because I know we be talking about this a lot. But nosotras estábamos like, oh, we'll take the metro to get to downtown.
That way we don't have to worry about driving or parking. If we drink, a gusto.
Yes. And so then I'm telling her like, oh, you know what? Like, I can actually just pick you up. Like, it's going to be tranqui, so I'll pick you up. And so then I don't know why. I was like, oh, do you have your ticket? I don't even know how the conversation happened. Tell me why this girl was like, oh yeah, I have my ticket, and she shows me her ticket and it's like the free RSVP. And I was like, Diana, did you not buy the skip the line?
And I was like, no, because you know, we said we were going to be there late, so yo entendí, no, pues vamos a llegar tarde. Empezaba a las 2, íbamos a llegar 3. I'm like, no va a haber línea. So why would I get to skip the line? No va a haber línea. So I got the free one.
And in my head, I was like, no, bro, we got to skip the line because va a haber línea. Joke was on us. There was no fucking line.
There's no line. We were one of the first.
We were literally one of the first. But you know what? It was just hella funny because I was like, you've got to be kidding me, bro. Like, and then as we were talking about it, I was like, no way. Dude, we literally were right next to each other. Ay, no. Pa' que vean, dude. O sea, que...
Andamos en diferentes mundos.
Talk about getting lost in translation. Jesus Christ.
Lack of communication.
I know. Well, to kind of kick off, this segment, I think we thought it'd be a perfect time to talk about just like friendship
as a tool for healing.
Yeah, I think I always tell people I feel so, so grateful for just like friends that I've made along the way, because I think I would not be where I am without all of you. Shout out to all my friends.
Yeah, agree. I feel like growing up, kind of like talking about like friendship, and where I am now, I would say that it's evolved the way that I think about friends. Because I mean, we're really good friends. We've known each other for a few years now. I feel like you've been like my solid rock friend, throughout like all of this time. And I would always say like, I don't have friends, but I do have friends.
She does.
I think I just have like a smaller group of close friends that, I keep, I nourish, right? And like keep close.
And I feel like we didn't, I think, when we talk about like how we see friendship and how we saw friendship and how it's evolved, I think a lot of it stems from growing up, the fact that our family always told us like you only have each other. And even like now to this day, right?
Oh, they still say
I was literally talking to my mom I talk to my mom every day. But the other day when I was going to my friend's wedding, I was like, oh, voy a ir a la boda de una amiga. And then she ya me está regañando. Ay, Diana, por favor, no confíes en nadie. Y
ten cuidado.
Ten cuidado, no nomás porque son tus amigos y que no sé qué. And I was just like, bruh. I was like, Mom. And then sometimes it does feel like they're like, oh, you're choosing your friends over your family. When it's just like, you can have both. But I think it all stems from like their upbringing. And so they were always taught that you can only count on your family. And so for us, I think our idea of friendship has evolved to where like your friends are your family.
Yes. I think siempre nos decían, no hay amigos, solamente tienes, your sister, your brothers, like, and that's it. And I think something that, when we were talking about this topic that we brought to light and talked about was how, our parents only had themselves, right? And immediate family, especially like when they migrated here, right? And they could only trust their immediate like people, and even then sometimes that wasn't like the case, right? And I feel like we grew up hearing that, you only have each other, no más confíen en ustedes, no hay amigos, no hay amigas. And even though they say it up to now, I feel like you are able to have like true friends.
Yeah, and I think a lot of times our family's friendship is very much, sometimes I feel like they're forced to make friends, right? I don't think it was something that they wanted to, because they've always been taught that like, oh, your only friends is your family. But then they come here to this country and then they might not have family here. And so I think a lot of my mom's friendships that I know, it's kind of like forced friendships, which obviously like now my mom's
like trauma bonding.
Yeah, trauma bonding, exactly. Which, don't get me wrong, I've trauma bonded with friends too, and I love them to death. But I think now we kind of have a different concept of what friendship is, and it's not just like trauma bonding. It's also like supporting each other. It's uplifting each other. It's giving each other like the raw, unfiltered truth, even when you don't want to hear it.
Yeah. And I think that is, I would say, what defines a true friend, right? Someone that is going to call you out and tell you how it is, rather than just agreeing with you, right? To keep things good or neutral, whatever. I think someone that is able to tell you how it is a true friend.
Yeah. And I think even our idea, like I look at the friends I had when I was younger, and it was very much, I think it's also like the environment, right? For example, when you're in your K-12, your friends tend to be like your classmates, las personas con quien te juntas tú más. And then as you get older, and then for example us, right, we moved away to college, and like when I went to Santa Cruz, I literally had no one. Like I had no friends, I had like nobody. And so it was different because I was forced to make friends and I was forced to seek out community because I didn't have that. And then now I'm like, oh, wow, like I feel so lucky. And gracias a Dios, I've been able to keep a lot of my friends from college. I also think that the friendships you have in college are very different to the ones that you have now in your like late 20s, early 30s. I think in college, I did trauma bond with my friends. I remember I have memories of like literal us crying, bien pedas. And then we were just like, I'm so happy that I have you in my life. And it was so fucking dramatic.
I'm such a sorority girl.
Yes. Oh my God, you didn't have those?
No, I was not part of a sorority. So,
but you didn't get those? No? I feel like you don't have to be in a sorority.
I think we would just have like deep conversations and stuff, and like it was more of like jokes.
But you're also a Gemini, so I feel like you're not as emotional. Cause
yes, I can very much separate.
Yeah, I cannot. No, hombre, yo soy bien llorona, y'all. Like, yes, I will fucking cry for like anything. I'm just so emotional. Yeah, like I remember even. Which, okay, fine. I'm a sorority girl. When I was like pledging for my sorority, I had to get to know all the sisters and stuff like that. And one of my really good friends now, it was like my first time interacting with her. I had seen her at like meetings, but I hadn't met her. And we ended up just connecting so well that we ended up talking. We like met outside of like one of the cafes on campus and we talked about our moms. And I feel like anytime I would talk about my mom, I will get emotional because I love my mom so much. And like, you know, she's complicated, right? I think all our parents are complicated because they come with all these things and just a lot. But we really bonded over our moms. Dude, empezamos a llorar. Like, that was my first time meeting her. And we just ended up connecting so well. And we related so much to just, like, you know, our mom, like, sharing about our moms and stuff like that, that, you know, I just started crying. And that's a friendship that to this day I have. And it's so funny because our moms finally met, like, a few months ago, I think last year. We hosted an event, like, with my friends and our moms. And then our moms like hit it off.
Oh,
and it was so cute. And the funny thing is, both of our moms are from Sinaloa.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's also funny because I'm like, oh, that's crazy. But again, that's kind of an example of like, yes, we trauma bonded over our moms.
Yes. I think for me, my earliest like friendships would be in el vecindario, like where I grew up. It was very much like it was an apartment complex, so we had a really large like parking space. Y todos nos juntábamos. Si uno sacaba la bicicleta, todos sacaban la bicicleta. Si uno sacaba los patines, todos andábamos en patines. And I remember she was my elementary school like friend, and we were neighbors. I would say, I think she was one of like my youngest, you know, I guess best friends, if you want to call it. But as I grew up, I think in high school is where I really found like my group of like friends, and up to now I still talk to one of my high school best friends because we were in it. I think we were in it together, you know. Si yo no tenía dinero, pero she had money, we both had money, you know. It was very much like co-sharing and like being there for each other and being like very open and just talking about what she was going through, what I was going through, you know, having fun in between all of that as well.
Yeah, and I feel like when we were talking about this episode and Diana was sharing how she has friends in high school, I also only have one friend in high school. And I feel like me and him actually got closer when we moved away for college.
Oh, okay.
I think we were in the same classes and obviously, you know, platicábamos y eso, but it wasn't until both of us moved away for school and he ended up going to UC Santa Barbara and I went to UC Santa Cruz. And I feel like he was the only one that I could relate to. I think in high school, I feel like, and we talked about this también, that you try so hard to fit in.
Yes.
So hard to fit in. And so sometimes the friendships that you make might not be as genuine because you're still trying to figure out like who you are. Yeah, this is you're acclimating to like others instead of really being true to yourself.
To be in and feel part of like a group. And yeah, I think that's why with I had a group of friends, but the one that I talked to up to now, I think we were always very like humble and real about things that we've been able to still up to this day like check in. So she's probably hearing this right now as we're speaking.
Oh my gosh. You know, and I think that it's, you know, sometimes I hear this a lot, like how we grow out of friendships, and even you can grieve, and we can probably talk. We'll have another episode about like grieving and stuff like that. But sometimes you just grow out of friendships, and it doesn't mean that those friendships were bad. It just means that who you were in that time is not who you are now. You know?
I think we each grow, obviously, like professionally, but think also personally, right? And mentally, we grow. And I think that's something that we also very much bond over, that we're always wanting to be a better version of ourselves, right? And growing and learning, right? Holding ourselves accountable. And I think that's where, you know, sometimes those friendships, they kind of just end, and that's okay. I think that's fine.
I think something else that I've really learned about friendship is how important it is for friendship to be reciprocated. I think that I've always been the kind of person who tries. Like, and I think, you know, me and my therapist have dissected this in the past, right? That like I just grew up like always feeling like I had to do everything. So I constantly just like, I think for me, it's natural to put in effort. Like, I feel like there's people que les, like, it's so much work que encuentren ganas. And I feel like I wake up con ganas de hacer cosas. Like, de lavar today in the morning, like, even though I was hella hungover, I fucking woke up at 7 a.m. and then at 7:30, I went to the lavanderia. Like, no business. But it's just like I wake up wanting to do things. And so I think that applies to a lot of areas of my life. And friendship is one of those. I feel like I've always been the one who reaches out, who's like planning things. And as I've gotten older, I realized that you have to pour into both of your, like, they need to pour into you just as much as you pour into them. And if it's not reciprocated, then one person always feels like they're doing all the heavy lifting.
Agree. And I feel like you are very much that, because you are always telling me, let's do this, let's do that, da, da, da. And yeah,
and that's what, and I feel like those are the friendships that you really like are grateful for, because they show up for you, right? And they are willing to like put in the effort. And even, for example, like recently my friend got married, and it's crazy to me because I was reflecting like at her wedding, and this is a friend that I made almost 10 years ago. And I didn't, she also went to Santa Cruz, but I didn't meet her at Santa Cruz. I did this program in DC where we interned, and they had us take pictures by campus. And so then I met her when we took like the UC Santa Cruz picture. And then another friend, I like give them a shout out, like Nat and Max. But I met them there. And then obviously like there's not a lot of Latinos.
Right. So you instantly
we instantly clicked, right? And we literally hung out for 3 months. It's a really great friendship. It was so nice to like experience DC. We also had some like turbulent times because it was during the election in 2016, so we were also like in DC when everything was happening. Y me acuerdo llorando too when we were looking at the results. Triggered. Anyways, so point is that after we finished the program, like obviously we had just graduated, so we were looking for jobs and stuff like that. I literally would hang out with her like once a year. So we don't text often. Whenever I'm in the area, I'll like hit her up. Whenever she's in the area, because she ended up moving up to Sacramento. Whenever I'm in Sacramento, I hit her up. Whenever she's here in LA, she hits me up. And I was kind of shocked because I was like, this is what it means to have a friendship that is reciprocated, because it's mutual. And I was just like, wow, there are some friendships that, you know, I haven't continued because it wasn't reciprocated. And so it was kind of eye-opening and kind of like validating that I'm like, oh shit, like los que quieren are going to show up for you.
Absolutely. I love that. And I think you pick up wherever you left off, and there's no awkwardness, no friction or anything like that. And I think I feel that for two of my friends that I met in Santa Cruz as well.
Banana slugs.
Yeah, we're just one of a kind, huh?
We are, yeah.
But yeah, even though they're like far away, and again, we don't need to text every day or call every day, but whenever we are together, like we make it the most, you know. And that's actually one of my love languages, quality time. Like,
that actually explains a lot.
Yeah, like quality time, like when I'm with them, like we are going to like check in about like everything. Something that I've also like come to realize, and I'm learning about myself, is also the way that I show up in friendships. I feel like I'm a very good listener. Like I can listen to you talk for hours. And sometimes if you just want me to listen, I'll listen, right? If you also want me to be there, right, as that like emotional support friend, like I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
Like just the other day, I ran into one of my friends at Pilates, and then like I was like, hey, da da da, how are you? As soon as, she sees me, there was like, a moment of like, I needed to hug her and just be there for her. And I was like, oh my God, what's happening? And I think I'm just learning how I show up like in spaces as well, kind of like being the listener, that emotional like support. And I think that's a little bit tied even into me being like the eldest daughter as well.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. The way that you see yourself and the way that you're also coming into these spaces. I think another part for me when it comes to like friendships is that we sometimes don't have to text every day.
Yeah.
Like I have friends where we're literally are texting in between days and we'll just pick up the conversation wherever it is. And I think that's okay, because I think it's acknowledging that everyone is in different spaces, right? Different workplaces. And it's just busy. Like life is busy, with everything happening.
I also just feel like you're a Gemini, so you're just very understanding. Because I always tell people I am a high maintenance friend. I
agree.
And I think it's because I show up as like, like if you need me, I am there for you. Mm-hmm. And so I always tell people like I expect the same in return. Mm-hmm. And so it's funny because my friends will always be like, if Diana texts me, I know I have to respond.
Yeah. Or instantly call her back. Yeah. I feel like I have tested your boundaries because I'll be calling back like a day after.
Dude, and I'll be calling her
hours later, and then I already know what she's going to tell me when I call her back. And I'm like, I'm sorry.
This literally happened this week. I think I called her on like Thursday. And I was driving. I think I called her Thursday afternoon maybe, and no contestó.
No, in the morning.
In the morning. Thursday. That's even worse, Diana. That's even worse because she called me back Friday morning. And it was so funny because I was driving to work and I was like, esta cabrona no me regresó la llamada. And then literally as I'm like getting to work, she called, like I see her calling, and instead of saying, hey, good morning, I'm like, milagro que te acordaste de mí.
But that just defines our friendship.
It does, right? Like because I think, I feel like I also am always like, because I'm a Sagittarius, right? Mm-hmm. I will always call you out, but I don't hold grudges. So it's just like if someone
you
doesn't, I don't.
You don't.
I don't. Yeah, no. Yeah. I think it's something me and my mom have talked about in the past. Like, yo no soy rencorosa. And so even though like in the moment, like pinche cabrona, no me regresaste la llamada or whatever the case may be, I never will hold grudges. Mm-hmm. I think to this day, right, there's no one, that in my life that like I'm like, oh my God, le tengo tanto coraje. Like even ex-boyfriends can hit me up and that's so bad. It's probably something I'll work on.
Diana, you whatever. Just said it.
We'll talk about that on another episode.
Filter.
Raw and unfiltered. But I'm always like, because I'm like, I don't hold grudges. So it's like, obviously, like the relationship might change. Mm-hmm. Like, obviously, I look at you in a different way, but I will always be here for you. And I feel like I tell that to like everyone, even if I don't talk to them. Like, I literally have, dude, this is so bad. I need to go through my contacts and delete contacts, but I have over like 350 contacts on my phone.
Yeah, I don't delete my contacts either. Yeah.
Because if
you
they
never
ever need,
know.
You never know if they need something, right? Or if you need something, bro. I've been there too.
Yeah, I mean, I know, Dios mío. All the dirty secrets are coming out. No, but oh my God, I forgot what I was going to say because you just like took me into a different direction. No, but okay, I remember. It was like the grudges thing. I do feel like that is very like grown up of us though. Yes. Because, I don't think we need that energy. Like you don't need that. Like even the word like hate, like I feel like I don't use it that much. It's rare when I do use it because you don't need that in your life. Like I feel like the time that you were together, great. Mm-hmm. But if it ends, it ends, and that's okay as well. But I feel like it's this I don't know, people hold a lot within themselves, right? Yeah. A lot of grudges, a lot of rencor, a lot of like just coraje. And I feel like all of that also has an impact on not only like your mental state, but even physically as well. Like our body absorbs all of that energy. And I'm like, I don't need that in my life.
Yeah. And I feel like something that, my therapist always tells me when she always says like, you learn something from that experience. Like you learn something from that friendship, and it's okay. I think there was a time when like I felt bad about friendships ending, and I was like, oh my God, like I really cared for them. And my therapist would always tell me like, ending the friendship doesn't mean you cared about them any less. It just means that like you're at a different stage in your life, and like that friendship taught you what it needed to teach you, and now you know you'll continue to make friends. And I think that's the other thing, the importance of having. Oh, I mean, again, I'm a social butterfly, y'all. I make friends anywhere.
One of her strengths is being a whoa.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, from that, what's that test called?
The Strengths Finder.
The Strengths Finder, yeah. I'm a woo.
A woo.
I'm a woo. That's literally like my number one.
A whoa.
A woo. Woo. And I think it's so important for, like, I have a lot of friends. And I always tell my friends, like, each friend feels like a different need that I have. You know, like, I have a friend who, like, I can hit up for working out, right? Like I know I can hit up Diana. I know I can hit up like my other friend Emily. If I want to cry, I know I'm gonna call Erica or like Evelyn, right? If I want someone to enable poor behavior, I know who I'm gonna call. I'm not gonna say their name because you know don't want to drag them like
you have a friend for each.
Yes. And then I have like my friend Jeffrey, right? And like I love him because he'll be like, "Do you want the Delulu part?" And I'm like, "Yes." And other times I'm like, nah, bro, give me the truth. Like, estoy pendeja. So I feel like it's also important to have like friends, and also I recognize people's limits. Like I can understand, like, okay, this might not be like their strength. No me ofendo. Again, no grudges here. But I think that's so important to have, you know, friendships. And then as I've gotten older, right, these friendships have really become my family. Like I live in LA by myself. I don't have family here. Yes, my family's 2 hours away, but I think I've now been able to build my family here.
Yes, yeah. I think another part when it comes to like friendships is also having female and male friendships and the perspectives that male friends bring. So I feel like you do have your people you kind of go to, you know, that maybe are in similar like stages right of their life as you, and you know that if you tell them or share something with them that they're going to understand you, right? And again, telling you how it is. But I think having a male perspective is also like very important, and also recognizing that like, yes, you can have a male best friend or a male friendship, like it doesn't mean anything.
But can your boyfriend have a girl best friend?
No.
That'll be another episode.
No. Here's the thing. Let me. Sorry, that was a little too quick.
We're like a side quest.
Yeah. I feel like friendships that were established years before you or before you, I think those are beautiful because it means that, you know, they were there before you as the partner. But I feel like new friendships that emerge while you're like together, I think that's different.
Dude, the red flag when he's like, "Oh, she's supporting me through like our relationship problems." What the fuck am I here for?
Go see a therapist.
Yes. Yeah, it's crazy out here, but you know.
We got sidetracked a little. Let's bring it back. But it's related though. It's related. Yeah.
Because I think it's also like, I mean, we want to talk about how friendships are healing, but there are some friendships that can be toxic, right?
And drain you.
And
can drain you. And I think that's okay. It just means that it's okay for you not to be ready to take on that, right? Yeah. And to create a little bit of space. Because I do think it's important to recognize your limits and, you know, are you doing a disservice to yourself and trying to be there, right? And then it's hurting you more.
Yeah. It's true. But again, I think that it's all about growing and learning, and the people who choose to stay with you and grow with you, like definitely keeping them in your life. And we kind of want to end with just our friendship, which, you know, I always tell Diana, oh my, you know, who would have thought, dude?
Who would have thought?
Look at us.
Years after working together and then getting to know each other outside of that.
Yeah,
we've been through it.
We've been through a fucking ringer.
We've been through it.
But you know what? I think it's also been really nice because I think we have like, I can say personally, right? I have a lot of friends, but I
Mhm.
don't think I have a friend like you who has very similar like backgrounds,
Mhm.
but also who works in the same field as I do,
Mhm.
because I think that we can really relate about the professional struggles, right? Like
Yes.
being young professionals,
Mhm.
working in higher
Mhm.
ed, things that like our friends might not understand because they have
They're
different
just in
career paths.
different, yeah,
Yeah.
different like sectors within the workplace. Yeah. I agree. I think that's something that we've always been able to talk about and support each
Mm.
other and how to like best navigate and give each other like advice, especially in, spaces where we might not be invited, right?
Yeah.
And we have to make our way into it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So very grateful for that.
Yeah. Agree.
But yeah, hopefully y'all enjoyed, and we would love to hear about like your friends and kind of like we'd love to hear stories about your
Yeah, y'all can
friendships.
comment, email us. We'll
Yes.
have to put our email out there. If you want to email us some stories, we would be happy to share them.
Yes, but with that, we want to thank you all for listening to Chisme con Propósito.
Where the tea is hot.
The takes are unfiltered,
And
and
somehow
somehow
we
we
still
still
make
make
it
it
make
make sense.
sense.